the heart of southern Africa, three leaders stood at the crossroads of destiny. Moshoeshoe, the Mountain King, stood for unity, diplomacy, and survival. To his west, the Orange Free State's presidents, J.N. Boshoff and Johannes Brand, sought expansion and dominion. Between them lay fertile valleys and sacred mountains, land that would soon ignite the fires of war. What began as negotiation soon became a struggle for existence. These were not just battles for territory, they were battles for identity, for the soul of a nation rising among the clouds. This is the story of Moshoeshoe, the Mountain King, and how the Basotho built a nation that refused to bow. The Age of Turmoil, the Mfecane, 1815 to 1840. Before Lesotho's rise, southern Africa trembled under a great storm. The Zulu kingdom under King Shaka swept across the land, conquering and scattering entire tribes. This period, known as the Mfecane, or the Crushing, saw thousands flee their homes in search of safety. Amid this chaos, a young leader named Moshoeshoe, son of the Bakotela chief of the Koina clan, began gathering displaced clans. By 1820, Moshoeshoe united them under one vision: protection, peace, and unity in the mountains. The birth of a kingdom. In 1824, Moshoeshoe and his followers climbed to a mountain fortress, Thaba Bosio, the mountain at night. From there, he offered refuge to fugitives, enemies, and strangers, turning them into allies. In generosity, he gave land even to those who once fought him. From these acts, a new nation was born, the Basotho. But beyond the mountains, a new force was moving. Armed settlers on horseback and foreign empires seeking land. The arrival of settlers. In the late 1820s, Dutch-speaking Boers crossed the Orange River, claiming lands Moshoeshoe believed he only lent. Their arrival created both opportunity and danger. At first, they served as a buffer against raiders, but soon they turned from neighbors into rivals. In 1845, a treaty recognized white settlement, but no clear boundary was drawn. The British stepped in, proclaiming a border known as the Warden Line, slicing through the fertile Caledon Valley, the Basotho's heartland. To Moshoeshoe, this was more than a line, it was an injustice. War with empires. When the British marched against him, Moshoeshoe's warriors struck back, defeating them at Veervoet in 1851 and again on the Berea Plateau in 1852. Even British cannons could not break his mountain stronghold. By 1854, weary of war, the British withdrew, handing the land to the Boers, forming the Orange Free State. But this only deepened the conflict. The Boers claimed land the Basotho saw as their own, grazing grounds, fields, and homes. The Three Basotho Wars, 1858 to 1868. First War, 1858, the War of Senegal. Tensions erupted in 1858, when Orange Free State President J.N. Boshoff declared war. The Boers advanced, but could not take Thaba Bosio. Moshoeshoe's warriors defended their sacred mountain, and the Boers retreated in defeat. Yet in revenge, Boer forces burned mission stations of the Paris Evangelical Society, accusing them of giving the Basotho strength through learning and faith. Second War, 1865, Sekiti War. Peace did not last. By 1865, a new Boer president, J.H. Brand, marched again, this time with heavy cannon. The Basotho named it the Sekiti War, after the sound of cannon fire. Sekiti, Sekiti. Villages burned, cattle were seized, and hunger spread. Twice the Boers stormed Thaba Bosio, and twice they failed. Still, famine forced Moshoeshoe to sign a bitter peace. Third War, 1867, the final stand. In 1867, war came again. The Boers overran most of the kingdom. Surrounded and desperate, Moshoeshoe turned to diplomacy, sending a plea to Queen Victoria, Philote House, and on the 12th of March 1868, Britain declared Basutoland a protectorate. The war ended, and the Basotho were saved. A year later, the Convention of Aliwal North, 1869, fixed Lesotho's modern borders. Moshoeshoe's dream survived. Though much land was lost, his nation endured. Legacy: a kingdom among giants. 2 years later, in 1870, King Moshoeshoe died. He was buried atop Thaba Bosio, the mountain that had sheltered his people and defied empires. His legacy gave birth to a land locked within South Africa, but never conquered by it. Lesotho stands today as a monument to leadership, unity, and the power of diplomacy over destruction. In the heart of South Africa, this small kingdom whispers an ancient truth. A nation's strength lies not in its borders, but in the courage of its people.